All right, on the show this week, we've got John Buchanan talking about the trip up to Gladstone, up against the Capras. We've also got Jude Saldanha, who is one of the Colts players, and Mark Gliddon. And yourself, you've got a couple of superstars, a couple of very handsome-looking young men.
Yeah, I had a chat to Cameron and Brayden Torpy as well, obviously sons of CEO Brian and Kerry as well. So it was an interesting conversation.
Yeah, they're East juniors. They've done a little bit of a journey. One's gone to Sydney, both of them gone to the Pride. So, but you always come back to Langland, don't you?
Totally, mate.
Yeah, totally. All right, back soon. Hello and welcome back to League and More. We've had a bit of a hiatus over the last few weeks. I've missed you terribly, Gav. Luckily, I've got your photo in my wallet. Every time I open it up, I can see, oh, there's Gav. Well up a little bit. But the Intrust Super Cup, a bye last weekend because of COVID, this rascally rabbit, and also the whole stuff with the NRL. Crazy times in the Intrust Super Cup.
Yeah, it is, mate. Look, it's difficult, and we're peripherally on the outside looking in. There's some spectators and supporters that'll be confused as well. There's NRL teams coming up and training here soon, and go into that. But it's different times.
A lot to like about the Brisbane Tigers under those conditions, the way they played. Obviously, they fell short probably 12 minutes ago in that first half. In the second half, obviously, against the. It's just they got away to a good start against the Winner Seagulls, which is not easy to do, especially at Cougar Oval. So there's a lot to like about the Tigers and what JB's doing. He's almost like the coach from Mighty Ducks, isn't he? Just gets them somehow together.
And he's doing it with a beaten up squad as well.
Yeah.
We're well aware that there's not a lot of Melbourne players coming back, and that's partly because of the injuries that they have and the COVID situation and so forth. So, and he's got his own injuries in amongst the Tigers players as well that are signed here at the club. So, look, it's a difficult time, but difficult times never last. So hopefully they can shine a light and come out the other end.
Yeah, it's a good character tester, isn't it? So you come out at the back end. They're going to go up against the Capras in Gladstone. I don't like this. The Capras can just win a game when they're not supposed to, and the Cutters.
Well, they had two draws and 35 losses or something in the last 3 seasons. So they say you're closer to a win every time you lose. So let's hope it's not this week.
Yeah, especially Gladstone. All right, well, coming up straight away is John Buchanan. We talk about their trip up to Gladstone. We'll be back with League More very, very soon. League and More, and as usual, we have the real talent at the top of the show. Don't worry about Gliddon. John Buchanan joins us. Mate, can I go back a few weeks, because I haven't spoke to you about the game against Winner Manly at Cougar Oval. Mate, that was a spectacular turn of form in the majority of the game, but Oliver Pascoe and Kyle Coghill just stepped up like they've been playing cup all the time.
Yeah, look, mate, again, we had some guys that played really well that day, but still didn't get a result, which has been extremely frustrating, particularly over the last, sort of month of footy. We've been in every contest. Yeah. Just, we're struggling to find a way to get the result. But yeah, look, both those guys on debut that day. Look, Kyle joined us that week, so he don't train with us twice. Obviously, we've had, everyone knows we had some injuries, and we just needed to find a half, and he'd been playing really good footy in the BRL comp, so. Yeah, he had a really good game. Ollie Pascoe is a great story. Did train and trial with us through the pre-season and been playing probably the best player. I reckon he's top 3 players in the BRL comp.
Yep, agreed.
And look,
there's not much to him either.
There's nothing of him, but he's tough and he's fast, and he's just a good backyard footballer, to be honest. And there's probably not enough of them in the game at the moment.
I think you touched on it. It's common knowledge pretty much that the Brisbane Tigers are struggling with injuries and alike, and it's filtering down, obviously, Karina and Balimba. But saving grace, Colts are going along nicely.
Colts are going really well. Mark's doing a great job with them. They've got a really good squad. Got some good experienced Colts, which sounds funny saying they're experienced, but they've got some guys that are 21 this year that have been in the system for a few years, and they probably lead the way, but they've got some really good young kids in there as well who are doing the job well.
All right, this weekend you're on the road to Gladstone. Lovely Gladstone. It's a great place. Send a postcard, JB, when you get there. which will probably just be butcher's paper. It's the Capras. On the ladder, mate, over the years, them and the Cutters have just been a very, very... you don't know what's going to come at you. I mean, they can take the win off you in a blink.
They're going to win a game. We're working hard to make sure it's not against us this weekend. But, yeah, look, they're a bit the same as us over the last period. They've been in every contest, just probably haven't found a way. Yeah, look, always tough to beat. Gladstone's a tough place to go. I've been there probably 2 or 3 times as a coach, and it's always an extremely tough trip there. The crowd's really vocal.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
They really get into it and enjoy the game.
All right, this weekend away, is this obviously we're heading towards the finals. I'm not going to say take it, have a lot of fun here, but it'd be a good little bonding session for the guys who've been with you for the season so far to go up and get away from Brisbane and go up there and play some footy and also do the clinics with the kids. It'll be a good little change for everybody.
Yeah, it's a hard trip, this one, in regards to for us to get out into the community. It's we've got Mark and 3 of the injured boys going up on Friday. As a playing squad that are playing, we're going up on Saturday afternoon. So we sort of arrive, we go to a function, then game day Sunday. So we're sort of back home straight after that. So yeah, like, it's always enjoyable to get away together, spend some time together, and yeah, hopefully it works in our favour.
All right. When you say you got to go to a function, have you got to teach the boys the outside forks and knives you start with first, or is it a bit tough with footballers?
Nah, some of them might need. Usually our manager Kevin Ryan would tip a few of them up on that, but most of them are pretty good.
Yeah, you can't go wiping your knife like that, but anyway, that's just another story. JB, it's a tough season as well. Tell me, what does the NRL bubble do to the Brisbane Tigers?
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's... we don't get any players back until they lift the bubble restrictions. It's probably hurt us a little bit, particularly our last, say, 6 to 8 weeks in regards to Jordan Grant, more predominantly Jordan and Aaron Booth, who initially are our players who have now both been signed by the Storm through this period. So those guys, not having those guys has affected us. And obviously then there's the other guys that are allocated to us that come back. So I think, we're not the only club in that situation. Yeah. Every club in our comp that has an affiliation link is in that situation at the moment, particularly with the bubble. I think from what I was told today was that if the bubble restrictions are lifted in 2 weeks' time from Thursday, so does that make sense? Yeah, 2 weeks' time from Thursday coming. Yep. Then there may be the opportunity for the players to filter back into our footy team or into their affiliate club that they're linked with. So that's the latest that I've been told as of about 1 o'clock today.
We've spoken about how, probably off air more so than anything else, how good it would be just to have the same 24 players. You haven't got people flying in and out. So the situation here you have for the next 2 or 3 weeks gives you something to work with. Yeah,
it does. It's... it was good. Even on the last week, our preparation was really good. And probably up until about the 66-minute mark, we're leading 20 to 12. We're thinking, the week's been a really good week, and we're heading towards a really good result. We're just, for some reason, we're coming up with errors that individuals are coming up with errors. It's impacting the whole team outcome. So. It was pleasing though to be able to work with the group through the week and not have any sort of interruptions. Yep. And we get to do that again this week. So, looking forward to it.
Do the boys need blinkers? Turn the scoreboard off?
Look, if I knew all the answers,
do it.
We wouldn't be in this situation. But look, we didn't touch the ball the last 14 minutes on the weekend, and you don't often win too many games if you don't have the ball. And credit to Ipswich, they didn't make an error in that period of time, and
which is unusual for them.
We defended a lot, and it's just how it went.
I think there's a lot to enjoy about the Brisbane Tigers, how they got everything thrown against you, blokes. You still go out and man up. Yeah, the last 15 minutes will just come back at you, but because of the style of footy, with the last try in the right-hand corner was typical Jets, wasn't it? So it's hard, but you've got to take some heart out of the boys who actually just really give all they've got, you know what I mean? Something you can't coach.
Oh, look, the effort's there. It's been there majority of the season, to be honest. I think we've probably had a couple of losses where, I thought we were way off the mark. But yeah, look, our effort's definitely there. It's not through that at all. It's just we've got some. Obviously, the challenges we've faced, whether it be COVID, injuries, we just looked through our roster up there this morning, and I think we've got about 6-7 guys that have played 10 games or less in this competition in our team at the moment, and they're on the weekend, a couple of them got caught out, and it's the whole experience of learning how to handle this level of footy. So we just need to make sure we're helping them, we're educating them, and they're better for their experime.
Yeah, something to take into next year.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, all right. So, all right, mate. Enjoy Gladstone. Have you had your shots?
No, I'm having my first shot next week. So yeah,
not that shot.
Nah.
So there you go, JB. All the best, mate, and good luck. I believe that believe that about the Brisbane Tigers. I think they've actually shown a lot of heart and ticket considering what's happening, and they're not kicking rocks. They're going out there and doing their best for their coach. And mate, let's set sail. Just one last question, JB. I think I'm fair to say finals are out of reach.
Yeah, I haven't even actually had a look, mate, to be fair.
If that's the case, do you change the style of play that the Brisbane Tigers do? Do you try and experiment a little bit more with different combinations or different styles or different game plans?
Oh, not really.
Okay.
We probably don't have the players to at the moment. We had 18 last week fit to play, and we've got one suspended from the weekend's game. So, and we may have one back from injury. So we really don't have the numbers there to be experimenting. And as I said, we've got 4 Colts in there at the moment, so it's a matter of probably just getting the games into them and that. But yeah, look, I haven't even looked at the table, to be honest. I know we haven't won enough games, so it's simple as that. But yeah, look, I don't know if there's a miracle that we can jag the next 6 or 7, whatever it is left that we've got left. Then yeah, we're still in there, giving it our best every week.
Well, there's still a chance. I mean, the Seagulls in the very superstitious Paul Green lost 6 on the trot and then won 13 to win it. So yeah. It's the destiny's in your hands, JB. All the best for the weekend, and hopefully we'll see you back next week, mate. You make bail, it'll be great.
Thank you.
Cheers. Well, always a pleasure sitting next to Mark Gliddon, and it's even more exciting when we're talking rugby league, mate. Can I go back to the Townsville game? You just got the chocolates there. We haven't spoken to you since then. They outscored you in the second half. Good grinding win.
The Townsville game you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a good grinding win. They're a good football team. Yep. They're well coached. I don't think they lose too many games up there in Black Hawk territory. So and we were pretty happy to get away with the 2 points up there for sure.
All right, now the Jets last weekend, a good win there. Do they play similar style to the Opens?
No, not really.
Okay.
To be honest, they were a bit more structured. They haven't won a game, and I was really concerned during the week that they'd, we didn't want to make sure that we were the first ones they beat. So we're pretty hard on the boys all week, and we were really good at training. And we went into the game, and they actually scored the first 2 tries. So I wasn't overly happy, and we're sitting at 18 all at half time, and we addressed that at half time in no uncertain terms. And we won the second half 22-0. So hopefully, I'd like to think what was discussed at half time worked.
I'd imagine the dressing room when you're in there would be sounding like a reversing truck, I reckon. But that's another story. But you must be pleased with the boys. When you go off, it's good they respond, okay? So that makes it all the worthwhile. If they go out there and haven't listened to a word you said, it's just, disappointing.
Mate, I'm not much of a blower-upper. If that's a word, I don't know if that's the word, blower-upper, but it is now, exactly. But look, I was just disappointed. I was more disappointed for them because I expect better. We set ourselves certain standards, and one of them is being consistent with plenty of effort, and it just wasn't there in that first half. But as I said, we said a few words at half time on where we thought we needed to be better, and the boys responded to it, and it was an ugly win. But Jets have probably got to take a little bit of credit. I actually thought they had a crack, most definitely. Chris Ash is their coach, and spoke to him after the game, and he was quite pleased with their efforts on the weekend. So I think they'll win a couple of games before the season's over.
Yeah, quality player, and obviously quality coach there was Chris Ash. Standouts for you, mate?
Probably, look, I was really pleased with young Justin Smith, who's been out for 10 weeks with a compound fracture of his thumb.
Oh, I was about good. Okay.
Due to the fact that young Hayali for now went up to Queensland Cup, I brought Justin straight back in, and he played 64 minutes straight. I think he had 32 tackles, and he got 2 of the coaches' Man of the Match award for the weekend. He just went out and had a red hot crack. He's quite a smart little footballer, and it's quite pleasing to see him back from injury. He was probably our best, I thought, along with probably Josh Coles.
Okay, so he hadn't played for 10 weeks, you make him play 64, so someone should call the RSPCA.
Nice bloke, you know.
Nice bloke, welcome back. But they're young blokes, aren't they? So now this weekend there's no footy. Obviously it's country round. The boys are going running off. Good chance to reset for you blokes. Are you happy to have the bye because you haven't got to travel, or are you happy to have a bye because you just wanted to set it all up again?
We probably need the bye a little bit. You know, a couple wounded at the moment with a few suspensions and a few injuries. And we're a bit wounded too, to be honest. So it's not going to hurt us. We just need to focus now. We get the weekend off, then we head up to Rockhampton to play the Capras there, where they're undefeated at home this year. So that'll be a real challenge, that one. The country boys up there, up in Rockhampton.
Is that a Rocky?
That's in Rocky. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that should be a good travel, mate. All right. Well, listen. What are you going to do this weekend with no footy? You going to watch some footy?
I'm actually in Gladstone for country week with the boys. I get up there with I think I've got Eli Daunt, Zach Torpy, and James Busby going up there with me. We're flying up early Friday morning. We'll do some development stuff in the schools.
Okay.
We go to their local footy on the Saturday, function Saturday night, and then help JB and the boys on Sunday.
You're flying up, did you say? Not driving?
Flying up. No, not driving. We were happy to drive up, but the QRL were kind enough to fly us up.
Well, I think the boys will be pretty happy too. There's only so much Kumbaya and Peter, Paul and Mary thing listening in a car with you, mate. So, anyway, quality act. All right, mate, listen, all the best on the weekend. Congratulations on racking up the wins. You only had the one loss?
2. So, Wynnum is sitting on top. They've had a loss and a draw, and we're sitting in second spot by ourselves at the moment with 2 losses, so it's quite pleasing.
Do you look at that?
Only every couple of hours. No, not quite. So, look, I do. Look, I'm not going to lie and say I don't, but I'm sure every other coach in the comp does too. All
right, well, all the best for the weekend. Good luck up in Gladstone. And memory serves me, the last time I was Gladstone, well, you know, it would have been on SBS after midnight, I reckon. Some of the stuff happens up there. All right, good on you. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Welcome back to League and More. The future of the Brisbane Tigers system. All right, Jude Saldanha. Hey, I was going to say, hey, Jude, not on purpose, though. But hey, listen, can I go back to the Townsville game?
Yep.
I was just speaking to Mark Gliddon about the half-time chat. Was it a little bit unchristian-like, what was coming out of his pipes?
Yeah, it was something we needed. We went in well. We did the whole first half well, and just let in try at the very end, and something we needed to focus on and work on, and yeah, didn't come out too well, and then came over the top at the end.
It's funny because at the start of the season, Gliddon was very pro on getting away to a good start. You didn't do that at the start of the season. I think it might have been against Burleigh. You came back behind against Wynnum, but you got to get out of the blocks in this competition. You only got 70 minutes to try and make it back up. So, and up there, it's a tough assignment. You enjoyed the trip, and obviously you enjoyed the win.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Just when we got in there the night before, so we had a very good game prep.
Yep.
And then went up with the Chockies, which was lucky. Went back down, sorry. And yeah, it was a great trip, and obviously a lot better that we won.
Did Gliddon come in and tuck you all in and read your story?
Nah.
No. He used to do that for me. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hey, last weekend against the Jets, an unknown quantity of the men from Ipswich. How did you go against those guys? You've heard a lot about how they play their footy. Was it true?
Yeah, it was true. I think I did about 6 tricky, either kickoffs or kicks or something.
Yeah.
Just caught us off guard.
Yep.
And we were prepared for it. Did a bit of work for it throughout the week, but some things you just couldn't train for.
Yeah. No, Ipswich Jets are like a couple of cockroaches. You step on the table and just go everywhere. You don't know what's going to happen. So you got to try and adjust that. But mentally, it's a good learning curve for you guys to tough it out for the whole 70 minutes when you've got to try and concentrate. You're fit enough. You can play well. But you've got to actually try and keep your mind focused on what's coming at you.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't come out the best, and so that was another mental game in itself.
Yep.
Had to get ourselves back on track, and yeah, eventually.
So did that win against the Ipswich Jets, did you take a lot of it out of that grinding win against Townsville? Do you learn from those games where you just hold tough and take it to the following week?
100%. So I think Gliddon touched on it. That was the first time we won ugly.
Yeah.
So we found a way to win, and then that just boosted a whole lot of confidence because most other wins we had, we played really well and was good most of the game, So that win against Townsville showed we can win ugly and took it into it.
Win ugly, coaches ugly. Beautiful. That's the way it goes. Mate, you got to buy this weekend. No footy. A bit disappointing. What are you going to do?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Go watch some footy.
That's it.
All the NRL boys up here. But what do you do? You're an East Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long? So I'm guessing you're only about 19.
Yeah, I'm 19.
So you've been here all your footy's been here?
Pretty much. So I started under sixes. So I had to do under six twice. Under sevens twice, sorry.
Wow.
Started on six at Scott Park and just progressed all the way up until here now.
All right. Now, for those who don't know, where do you play, mate?
Centre at the moment.
Okay.
First year in centre.
All right. Have you ever played in the forwards?
No chance.
Too pretty?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, you don't want to go on there. It's just carnage in there. But anyway, all right, well, enjoy the weekend off, mate. If you weren't playing rugby league, what would you play? What's your good sport?
Oh, not too
Basketball?
sure. Yeah, basketball.
Yeah.
Maybe even tennis. Wimbledon's on now.
Oh, right. There you go.
Fun, nah.
Yeah, are you a racket abuser?
Hey.
Slam it. Give the referee a bit.
Yeah.
See how you go. All right, well, as I said, he's the future of the Brisbane Tigers, and these are the guys who want to stick around here. Colts are flying high, so next time they play, I can't remember when they're playing next. Come in early and watch the Colts players play. It's really good rugby league. It's fascinating stuff to see the future of rugby league in general, especially here at the Brisbane Tigers and players like Jude here. Well, we look forward to your progress at the club, and Gavin Payne actually spoke to the Torpy brothers about winning the next premiership. It's funny how Gav always brings up the 1991 grand final win that he was in, but anyway, that's another story. But you may be the guy who's part of that piece of history. You never know.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Sweet.
Good on you. Thank you.
Welcome back to League and More. I'm joined by two special guests today, as always. Back at the Tigers again, Brayden and Cameron Torpy. Boys, as I said, back at the Tigers. How have you found that, getting back together again? I know we'll talk about your careers to this point in time, but just a couple of young fellas enjoying your footy.
Yeah, mate. I mean, like you said, back playing together again, which is fantastic. We spent a couple of seasons playing together now. Our first was at the Pride, Northern Pride in 2019, and then obviously the season got cut short last year, so we played for Carina in the Brisbane Rugby League comp, and then playing for East though, I think that's definitely something we've always wanted to do, like playing for the actual club, our junior club, being here. So it's a special feeling. We've only had a few games. I mean, Cam's got brittle bones and broke his cheekbones, so. But yeah, hopefully we can, get a few more games at the end of the year and add to that tally, I think, mate. Yeah,
I understand, Cameron, that broken cheekbone, so you've just been cleared to make a comeback
as
also?
As of this afternoon, it's all clear to come back, so it's meant to be 5-week injury, and then obviously the bye, and then during COVID, that round got called off, so ended up only missing 2 games, which is pretty good for me personally. Looking forward to coming back this week.
And looking forward to playing more games together with your brother
Yeah,
also?
absolutely. Like Brayden said, we haven't played too many games together at East. We spent a few games together at the Pride. But keen to be back, mate.
So tell me about your Pride sojourn. I think you've been up and back a couple of times, Brayden?
Yeah, so that was my first year of Cup in 2016. I played up in Cairns, which was a fantastic learning experience just to get out of home and play Cup up there. And came back to East for a few years. Played a fair bit of Cup here, went to the grand final in 2018, and then there was an opportunity for Cam and I to play together. Cam was down in Sydney at the time, and got a phone call from Ty Williams and Cam saying if we wanted to go up and play regular Cup together.
Yeah.
And it was a tough decision to go up, move up again, but looking back, what do you reckon? It was a good decision just to, obviously play with Cam. We've always played in the backyard together, but definitely different actually just going out in that field and and playing with each other. So 2 seasons at the Pride. Love my time up there, but definitely home here, mate, for sure.
Was he any good at setting up, mate?
Setting me up?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't. I don't think. Wait, how many games you went up there?
Oh,
Not too many, hey.
I think more than you.
I don't think so. No, Brayden didn't set me up with any, unfortunately. Had to do the hard work myself, so.
That'll do, me.
That's what younger brothers always do to their older brothers, try and stand them up, prove who's better.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, going back to your under-20s, Brayden, you had a successful year there as well. That was a pretty good side. You won the competition. I think the final was out in Ipswich in 2013. So tell us a little bit about that game and that year.
Yeah, so 2013, I was fortunate enough to play Colts here when it was just the under-20s. I was 18 and we won the competition. Pretty gun side that year, mate. We obviously had Geordie, your son. who was a second rower in our
He's
side.
not a gun.
we had Billy Walters, was my halves partner at the time. Mitch Moore at 9. Blokes like Alex Barr, who've gone on to play lots of cups. So yeah, fantastic side that one, mate. We beat Redcliffe on the day, I think by 10 points or something. But yeah, unreal side, coached by David Krause, who
Mr. Krause.
Mr. Krause is a good man. So yeah, I always have fond memories of that year, mate. It's you know, it was a tight group. Like we had blokes that were 20 years old, we had blokes that were 18 years old, but we were a tight group, and yeah, I think that's why we were so successful.
And Cameron, have you picked up any premierships along the way in your career to date?
I actually have, yeah. A few years ago, I actually played against Eastern in the grand final. I was playing for Winner Manly in the Colts there in 2016, I think it was. Happened to be at the Bronx 20s at the time. That's hence why I was playing at
Yes.
Wynnum. And yeah, got a pretty convincingly good win over the boys at Lane Park. So, bit of sweet memories, I guess. Hopefully, you know, we can win a chip here in a few years' time, or this year.
Tell us about your journey through the 20s and where you've been. I know you've been to Sydney as well.
So I played all my juniors here at East.
Yep.
Lucky enough to get signed by the Broncos in 2015. I was playing Meninga here at East, and we made the grand final. Unfortunately, didn't get the win. We lost to Townsville.
Yep.
Went to the Bronx for a few years, and then was lucky enough to get an opportunity in Sydney at the Bulldogs. So spent 2 years down there, 1 year in the 20s and 1 year in Cup. Unfortunately, my second year there was pretty injury riddled. And then, yeah, lucky enough to get an opportunity at the Pride in 2019, it was, yeah. So made my way up there, made my Q Cup debut, and then obviously now I'm here.
It always felt like we were just like always different cities. You know, at one point in time, I was either at home in Brizzy, Cam was away, or then Cam was at home here, I was away. So that was definitely like a thing we wanted to try to like meet up. And,
I'll ask you both the same questions. Any goals or ambitions? Obviously, you'd like to play more games together, but outside of that?
Oh, look, this year my goal was just to debut for the Tigers.
Yep.
Obviously, being an East Junior is pretty special to get my number here.
Yep.
You know, mathematically, situations going this year, we have to win a few more games if we want to play the final. So, look, yeah, obviously winning a grand finals would be a massive goal, and that's one for me I really want to achieve at this club.
Yeah, I think for me is just, obviously winning that premiership, mate. I was lucky enough to win the Connell here, then like I said before, the Colts, and then, you know, to win a Cup grand final would be fantastic. It was a bit short a couple of years ago, but, you know, I think we can do it. You know, if it's this year or next year, I think it'll come eventually. It's, you know, something I want to do personally. You know, we haven't had one in a few years. So
Well, it's 91 since we won the last one. We had a reunion down here from that side that I played in many years ago with a number of other guys as well. And it'd be great to get someone to join us to not be the last premiers as such. We enjoy it, obviously, but there's been many attempts since then. There's been many grand finals that the Tigers haven't been successful in. So, yeah, hopefully the next one we get into, and you guys will be in it, that we're due, and we can pick up a win.
100%, mate. I agree. Like you said, a few grand finals, and it's just getting over that last hurdle. So, yeah, I can see it happening soon, but we just got to work harder. Well,
the allegiance with Melbourne obviously helps and hinders you to a degree as well, I believe, just with the players, like the consistency. You can't have the same 17 sort of every week. You never know who you're going to get back and so forth. So that's another little hurdle that hasn't occurred in the past. But all the best for that, boys. Hopefully you get through the rest of the year injury-free, pick up a few more wins, and set yourself up in good stead for the 2022 season.
Yeah, so sweet.
Thanks for joining us this afternoon. Good on you, boys. Cheers.
Gav, good to be back on League and More. I've missed you, as I said, but great to be talking footy again.
Yeah, look, I've been away for a couple of weeks as such. We had a bit of COVID-related issues and so forth, and that's all over now. Obviously, well, it's not all over, but on the way back, and we're back to footy again, which is great.
I went away over to Australia, took my shovel and my blue tarp with me. Nothing to see here. And next week we'll see how we go with the Intrust Super Cup as the boys go to Gladstone, and obviously Colts not playing, but we'll look forward to talking to the boys all next week. Good to see you, Gav.
Will do. You too, mate.